Hey guys, gonna feature Alex. I'm editing right now. This is part two of the episode we released 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it's 2 weeks ago. And just a quick intro. This is just a continuation of that edit. Hope you guys like it. I don't know why I'm doing this. It took me 3 times to just shoot this. Also, hope you guys like it. Bye. I can see the girl.
Something that I think that we both have in common. So well, besides that,
Our beard.
I was being little musical fan Caesar like last week, and I watched seriously like 3 seasons of Glee again in like 2 or 3 days.
Sorry for that girl that's missing.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that another time. But seriously, hopefully she's okay. Cause damn. Anyways, when I was watching the show, there was a scene where I remember it's like the last season, and they're all talking about graduation and everything, and like not the last season, the 3rd season. I'm sorry.
Oh, cool.
When they're graduating high school, when the original cast is graduating high school.
Okay, makes sense now.
But yeah, they're talking about that. They're going through all that stuff, trying to figure out what they're gonna do with their lives and everything. And then there's a scene. If anybody watches the show, Leah Michelle's character, and I can't remember the girl's name. I apologize, but her character's name is Tina, and it's Rachel. And there's a scene where they're talking about what they want to do with their lives when they get older. And Rachel says something that I think kind of hit home to me specifically. Something I think I kind of feel like I'm never gonna get away from. That adults, when they tend to grow up, they forget how to dream. And okay, anyways, like I was saying, sorry, I'm getting a little deep here, but and I know that this has probably been our longest one, but if you're still watching and listening, I feel like this probably resonates with a lot of people.
Shout out to you for listening.
Seriously, shout out to you for listening. No, so they were talking about like what they want to do after their lives and they graduate, and one of the things that they said was that that they feel like when grown-ups kind of forget to dream. And I think that, like, to me, that kind of hit home because I've always kind of felt like that, especially like here in El Paso. I feel like people get very comfortable, which there's nothing wrong with. If you're comfortable, you're comfortable. Yeah. But I always kind of feel like people get very comfortable and they kind of give up or like just let go of what their goals or dreams are, and they don't really do anything to kind of really pursue them further. And the reason, like, I thought it hit home with me because recently I had a friend ask me because like we mentioned, it's been really busy for the both of us. Yeah. And she mentioned to me, she's like, you have a lot going on. Like, why do you do so much? And I was like, well, because I don't want to see myself settle. Like, I want to see myself keep progressing no matter what it is I'm doing, whether it be my professional career, whether it be this, like podcasting, and, you know, this takes us somewhere, or whether it be music. Like, I want to see myself keep growing and trying to keep finding different outlets to not only express myself, but actually maybe hopefully gain some kind of professional career out of. And I always thought that was crazy because when she said that too, I was like, that when she asked me that and told me that, and when I thought about the quote of what I heard in the show, I was like, you know what, it's kind of true. Like, I feel like people at a certain point, they just kind of like, all right, well, I am where I am, I'm comfortable with it, that's it. Which, I mean, like I said, it's nothing bad, but I feel like it's kind of the thing that's missing. It's in a way like giving up halfway. Yeah, it's like you're giving up halfway because, I mean, I feel like everybody could honestly do so much more. And I even think about that when I think of like the music industry. It's not that difficult to get into, but it is difficult to sustain because once you get everyone thinks once you get a deal, like that's the thing, you made it. You didn't make it. You made like the point. You made a first step. You made like the big first step. Now like you have to really put in the work to get to the next point where like, okay, I got to the point where record companies are realizing like, all right, this guy can do something, like let's give him or her a chance. But now you gotta put in the work, and it's the same thing like whether you're doing art, like business, regardless. The second like you the business owner opens up their first store, that's the big first step. But the reason a lot of businesses fail because I feel like they get too comfortable and they just kind of think, I've made it. Like, no, you haven't made it. You really got to put yourself and pour yourself into it to make sure, you know, people know who you are, people know what you're doing, and you're putting out quality product or service. And I think that's the thing that, like, I started thinking about that was, like, because we're always saying, like, we're so busy. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, that's the thing. Like, I think that's the thing that kind of one of the things I kind of bonded with you on was the fact that even though we know we're not there yet, we're trying to get there. We're still doing it. We take time off. Yeah. Because we're humans. Yeah, like what we're saying like right now. We didn't do it last week, obviously, because I was in town. But literally, it was like, we have to do something. Let's just sit down for an hour and a half, talk, and we'll record it. And that's what we're doing. Like, Well, you make the time when you can, and you have to put in the effort.
I think the best way we can ever say this is how Omar said it. It's this last episode of Crafting Social. It's like it's with everything that's going on. It's time to rediscover yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually good. So, because you got a little dip, I was kind of like trying to avoid this. Because now it's, I guess, my turn about it.
The what?
Like, cause you got kind of deep. Like, I always avoid. So a lot of people, if you follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, and everything, I would think that I hate myself. And it's kind of a joke, but it's something that's actually really true. I do hate myself. The first time I ever hated I think it started when I was between 5 and 8 years old. And a lot of people was like, "Why do you do this?" Like, well, I work that much for the same reason. It's like I hate myself so much that I make myself make work.
Yeah.
It's like I can never call myself an artist. I hate the word artist like brought out to me because I haven't had to make a mark. Like every time I think of artists, what do you think? It's just like Picasso, Dali, Van Gogh. Like you think about people that made a change on the movement. But for me, it's just like it's more about it's the point is like it's a hatred that it makes me grow in a way. Like I want to keep evolving. I want to keep learning from people. The whole point we did this, we started like every other fucking podcast. I'm not saying that they're wrong, and I had done podcasts before with other people, friends, family, and it's about movies. But we never did anything about here, like how we're doing it now. It took us time. Like if you go back to our first episodes, we were talking about movies, reviewing movies, but because we all like movies. But there's a lot of that. But what about El Paso? Like we grew up here. It's a place that I fucking love, no matter what. Like El Paso,
it's home.
It's home. Like yeah, like I grew up. I grew up in Juarez in here, but even when I was over there, like times I made my mother cry. It's like I never felt accepted even at my parents' house because like my mom when I turned 13 told me I was her biggest disappointment because what I wanted to do, I wanted to study art since I was 4 years old.
Yeah. And
when I saw H.R. Geiger's Lil's the First, which is one of my favorite paintings of all time, it's really fucked up for a 4-year-old to see that. And if you know who H.R. Geiger is or not, he's the guy who created the aliens from the movie Alien and all that artwork. So it's something I wanted to do. Like I started like when I was 13. I told them that I wanted to study art. Yeah, started paying rent at the age of 13. I started got me a job. You know, over there, public school, it's not really free. You have to pay for it. So it's just like something that always kept me going forward. Like I had so many jobs, and like people's like, oh, well, where didn't you work out? It's like it's not where I didn't work out. So where did I learn all this shit? Like I used to work at restaurants. I learned all this shit. I had like mannerisms like when we were talking at Mona. I was like, like I wear gloves to cook at the house, which is weird. It is, but I work in an actual kitchen. Like it's just sanitary for me just to be like, okay, like I touch. Even though I'm just making chicken, like at the restaurant we're making chicken, pork, beef, and I was like, that's why you change gloves. So it's like stuff like I hate myself so like to the point where like I just want to keep growing. Like I want to keep making work. I want to keep doing something different. I want to keep learning from something else. And I think that's like one of the reasons like when we met, we were playing at the band, I learned a lot from you and Justin. It's just like you guys are music majors. Like, don't get me wrong, like at the time, like my cousin was the drummer and he's been playing for the band for like over 15 years. Yeah, he has experience and I learned a lot from him, but then it got to a point where it's like it's the same thing. But then we got lucky that we brought you in, and then Justin, and it was the first time that I actually thought about music. I grew up with music. Yeah, my great grandfather and my grandfather wrote a lot of music for Mexico. My great grandfather wrote the actual anthem for the state of Chihuahua. My grandfather also my great grandfather wrote a lot of music for Mexican movies, and a lot of people don't know that. It's like stuff that I learned, but I also was part of the university in Mexico. You can get into the orchestra at a young age, and I was part of the classic guitar orchestra, so I know stuff for music. And it was just things that I learned from my grandfather and just growing up there, and it got monotonous. I did step away from it for a while, but then having you, like I said, back from the band and you and Justin, there's shit that I was like, oh shit, like I can actually like, I had to ask you. I asked you so much shit. Like, am I in the right tempo? Am I in the right thing? You tell me to fix this. Justin told me to fix that. There's shit that's like, yeah, it's like it keeps growing. Like, don't give up on that creativity. It's the same reasons. Like, I know, like, my way, it's kind of a lot of people see it in a negative way, and even the therapist that I had for like a month, that she actually quit being my therapist because I kind of like I was fighting against, like, it's a lot of I express moral stuff on my work, so that's how I am, and according to her, that's not okay. It doesn't make sense to think about someone that does illustrations and artwork and paintings about that. It's stupid. She's a good therapist. I know her, like, from others. She help other people that I know, but it's just like, yeah, like, it's more about growing. Like, the whole point of this is us growing. Like, yeah, that's why we changed from puzzles to 6 Feet Under. Not even podcasts, just changed to studios.
Yeah.
Because we both actually sat down one time and was like, we wanted this kind of videos. We bought stuff with our own money. It's more of us investing money in a company that doesn't really exist, but exists in between us at the moment. We're bringing new people in, as you may know, like, I already talked to him and he's into it, and he's been here multiple times, which is Jono. We're bringing people in that want to create stuff. Like, it's more of a collab studio, I guess. Not like, it's not, we call it studios because we want to bring more stuff in. We had this conversation like 2 weeks ago while we were drinking at Amanda's house, which we should probably have in the show. Should have told Amanda. But it's just like, we want to make this more than anything, I guess, how to call it, that just a I don't want to say collective, because I've been part of collectives that have fallen apart or like breaking apart, but more like a creative mindset, like, where we are still allowed to be stupid. Not like stupid in the man, like, oh no, it's also about like building and learning shit.
It's an outlet that really just allows you or anybody who wants to join just to, like, you know, be an expression. Yeah. It's not really a matter of like being politically correct. It's not like, really a matter of
trying to do stuff in a way professionally.
Yeah, we're trying to be professional about it. Honestly, obviously we still have things to learn. We still cuss every now and then and whatever. We cuss a lot, but we have things to learn. But the whole point of this thing was really for us was us to create an outlet for not only us to grow and learn and express ourselves, but to allow our friends, allow the people that we meet within the city who are doing their own things to express themselves and kind of showcase themselves as well. And I guess that's why, like, when I brought that up, that's why, like, what I'm saying, like, I don't even think, like, when people say that they forget to dream, I don't think it literally just means of having big dreams, like being famous or like
they forget to be themselves.
Rich. It's just the fact that I feel like people, like, really, really just settle down with having families and kids, which is fine. Like I said, it's totally fine. But I don't feel like it's ever healthy to just kind of give up on your own dreams and give up, like, on your own expressions that you want to do. Like I said, whether it be, you know, something creative like music or art or film, or something that's a little bit more like starting a business, starting a company, starting something. I just think it's never a bad thing to want to have that for yourself and to want to, like, really express yourself and try and do something for yourself. Obviously, like, when you get older, yes, we got bills to pay, we got health insurance, we gotta take care of car payments, even if you have kids, you gotta take care of kids, and that's great. Like, I respect that and I love that. Like, I have plenty of friends that have kids. I have a niece, my sister has a kid, whatever. But I don't ever like when people use that as an excuse to give up on what they want to do for themselves. Like, there's plenty of people that can do it, and I absolutely totally respect that. Especially I hear a lot of it was like the single moms that, like, have to, you know, worry about raising their kid and then going to work and getting degrees and stuff like that. That's awesome. That's the thing that I wish people would really do more of, and that's the thing that, like, I remember when we were called social. I said, "This is the time right now to finding yourself." Like, that's the true thing. Like, right now, I hope that's the thing that people are doing.
Those people that come to my house, which is my house, is the office where we record. I have a chalkboard plate, and because you were saying that, actually I have stuff where I wrote down, like, just little things that, like, made me keep going. Yeah. Like, I have, like, stupid stuff, like just random shit, like, stuff from friends. I'm lucky to say that I'm good friends with Charles Trippy, which is the bassist from We the Kings. He said one thing that I really...
Shout out to We the Kings. You guys put on some good shows.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. When he got diagnosed for the first time with brain tumor, he said, "I want to be a fucking dragon." And it's just like, he has a world record.
A dragon.
Yeah, because he has the Guinness World Record of having the most blogs, video blogs. He did it for over 12 years. He actually reached 4,000 episodes this week.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. Of you recording his life. He recorded his brain tumor surgery.
No way, really?
Yeah, you can see it on CTFXE.
Damn,
so he said that, and I was just like, well, yeah, like, it sounds stupid. Like, I want to be a fucking, like...
Wait, but is he okay? Like,
yeah,
he's
okay, yeah.
Okay,
he
well,
has to be going...
Good job. Congratulations.
He has to be going back and forth.
That's awesome.
That. But he said that, and it kind of, like, resonated with me just because be a fucking dragon is, like, be the impossible. And also, how you say, like, don't limit yourself to be... Because I have kids. One of the quotes that I have on my wall, it's called "Die on your own sword." It's like, yeah, like, don't give up on any other people's terms. Like, give up on your own. Like, you can't give up unless you know, it's like, you know what, like, I'm actually hitting my limit. This is my limit. Like, it's not a giving up, but it's just like you're hitting a pause about what you're doing. It's not just, okay, like, I'm giving up. No, it's just like you're having a pause at the moment. We all need it. Like,
yeah.
I said, we took a week off. Like, yeah, you were out of town. We were also supposed to be part of it because we wanted to record all this outside of town. But it's like stuff happened. Like, you don't know. Like, right, especially right now, fucking COVID. And then we're going back to craft and social. Omar said it, the big thing. It's time to rediscover yourself. It's time for you to realize that this is not the end.
Yeah.
We're dealing with a pandemic. Yeah, it sucks. We're being I like to think that we're all being healthy. Because of my job, I've been getting tested every 2 weeks. Not just because of my job, it's not a requirement for my day job, but I'm doing it because on the company that I work for, we're 5 people. Like, they're always in the office. So my 2 bosses, one of them is in his 80s and he's diabetic.
You said 5, not fight.
5.
I heard fight too, but then I thought I was like, wait a minute, it's 5.
Yeah. My fucking accent.
It's like, dude, you can't talk about Fight Club here.
Yeah, it's like, oh, shit. Oh. That's next week. No, so it's just like I'm doing it not only just because I have to deal with a lot of people. We're limiting that, but I'm kind of like the one that goes in the front lines, I guess, for the company, being the graphic designer and the representative of the managing and parts of it. And my boss, he's in his 80s, late 80s. He's diabetic, so that's why I did it, just to, like, not just for me, but also, like, I don't want to fuck up the place that gave me a job, because actually for the work that I did, like, actually they offered me my job for my illustrations, even though they're inappropriate, but they know I had something that I could bring into the company. So that's why it's like, I'm not trying to say, like, don't give up just because it's, like you said, an excuse. It's like, yeah, you can get custom it, which is not wrong, but also don't try to bring yourself down. Yeah, like, and I'm saying it as the person that hates himself a lot.
Yeah.
Because every time, like I said, we're releasing now, probably proven on this, like, we're releasing illustrations of the people that have been part of the show, that have been actually helping us out, spread the word, and all that. Like, yeah, I'll put them up here, and those have been part of, like, my breaks. Like, yeah, I'm still doing work, but work that I enjoy. It's just not, like I said, I hate myself so much that at the point, like, I want to keep growing. And that's how I am. It's probably not gonna work for everybody. It's not gonna be the same for everybody.
Yeah, no.
But it's just like a way how I see it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think people should do it expecting anything. That's the thing. I feel like people a lot of times give up because they don't get what they want.
And like I said, dude, like, we're not really making money. Like, yeah, we have a sponsor.
That's the thing that I feel like people kind of forget sometimes. Like, it's not really about. It shouldn't be about getting that result. It should be about figuring out what works, figuring out what's the best thing for you. And I mean, a lot of times, unfortunately, it doesn't work out that way. A lot of times, like, believe me, I totally wish I could be fucking touring the world right now playing music, but it doesn't work out that way. It doesn't always work out that way. But that doesn't mean you should quit. That doesn't mean you should stop. That doesn't mean, like, you should hate on yourself for it, because the point is, like, you do something that you enjoy, you do something that is bettering yourself, and you do something that you're trying to be better at. And I mean, I think that's the cool thing about, honestly, that's probably like the light in COVID that I think a lot of people should have found by now, or hopefully have found by now, that, you know, you kind of realize, all right, well, I can't do this, but I have more time to do this, and I can focus myself and better myself in this way. And you never know. Like, I think that's the other crazy thing. Like, a lot of times, I think I've learned that also. A lot of times, things always tend to just happen when they're meant to happen. You may go through some shit at one time. You may go through, like, a really hard part in your life. I know I've had those times where it was like, it just seemed like down, 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 down. But then all it takes is one up, one yes, and all of a sudden, things can change for the better. And I mean, I'm honestly, like, I've been in that position for the past couple years of my life where, thank God, like, you know, one thing changed to another, turned to another, turned to another, and, like, it's helped me get up to that point. And I mean, that's what I'm saying, like, that's why I'm saying, like, I think that's the thing people seem to forget, because, and the crazy thing is, dude, honestly, you got to think about it. If I didn't start working where I was working now, we never would have met. We wouldn't have played in a band.
Maybe, like, just
this right now wouldn't be happening. And that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of, like, people gotta, I think, forget sometimes, like, you cannot get down on yourself. You cannot just quit. You cannot just, like, let life control you. It's your life. You gotta be able to take it by the horns. But you also gotta understand, it's not always gonna go in your favor.
Oh, yeah, no.
You have got to learn to gotta roll with it and make the best of what you can.
Yeah, it's like, with that being, like you said, it's just like, honestly, the whole part that we were part of this band. Out of respect to other people that were part of, like, I don't want to mention where we were part of the band, the name.
Excuse me.
It was the last band. Like, honestly, I don't really play that much anymore. And it was fun. Like, for me, it's fun. Like, yeah, there's, like, it's not, music wasn't really, like, my dream. It's, like, my hobby. But then it's just, like you said, we wouldn't have met because of that.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have things in common. Like, yeah, it happens to be that we're the same age, and we have a lot of things in common. It just happened to be. And, yeah, a lot of people don't like that we just ended up kept being friends, and we never really talked about the band outside from the band. Like, yeah, we hang out, we went out drinking, we went out having, like, 2 bars, we were hanging out, but we never became about, like, we're going to the band. It's like, no, we're just hanging out, just, like, getting to know each other, being friends,
yeah,
and all these things. And it's also, like, one of the things is, like, we did this just for ourselves. It's just, like, we wanted to do something that we like.
Yeah.
It's like we said, we started this as a fucking movie shit. And yeah, it's like, it kind of evolved. Like, yeah, we stopped because a lot of stuff got in between.
But that's what I'm saying. That's how it should be. Like,
it should just, like, keep evolving. Like, yeah,
things naturally tend to happen. Like, again, we didn't plan on trying to make this what it is now and what it's becoming, but I think it worked out. It worked out for the better. Like, the thing that we found, I think we found our niche with this, and it's really cool.
And it's, like, so self-funded.
Yeah.
We do, like I said, like, we've been lucky and blessed that we have friends helping us out, sponsorships, which happen to be your friends. Like I said, always gonna thank old shit dog, because he came out of nowhere and is like, dude, like, I want to help you out. Like, he has been interviewed for other people.
Yeah.
And I can say, like, come on, Sucio, that's not his real name, like, that's how he goes by. He did the first, like, interview with him, but he said, like, like, how we started the show is, like, it's me fucking moaning, like, says, like I said last episode, like, it's just me kind of, like, making my break to Japanese dubs for not anime, just hentai in general. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go straight to the nasty shit. But it's just us having, like, yeah, we're dealing with serious stuff, we're talking about business, but we're still being ourselves. Like, yeah, like, every show starts, like, being serious, and then we, like, somehow in the middle we come to, like, some stupid shit. Like, once again, like, I want to go back to the first one, Mona. Like, we were, like, talking for, like, 15 minutes about
that.
No, like, this is the one thing, like, we were talking about titties for, like, 10 minutes, and then it just, like, John just calling out Matthew as, like a fucking
oh god, that's
like
funny,
what's it called, fuck, I forgot, like, not a sweet sour, whiskey sour. It's like, yeah, it's like, it's not the same. If you know how to make it, like, old fashioned, like, whiskey sour, it's a hard drink. And yeah, even John was like this motherfucker saying, like, an old fashioned is the easiest drink. Like, yeah, we curse a lot, which is fine. Like, no, who doesn't curse? Yeah. It's like, that's the other reason. Like, yeah, we're posting this on YouTube. We're gonna soon, hopefully, post it on what's it called, Spotify and iTunes, and wherever you can get their fucking podcast, SoundCloud, OnlyFans. I don't know, like, Snapchat Premium. Shout out to Snap. But it's the other thing. It's like, what's one of the things that I that I'm really like happy to be like knowing you for those long. I guess.
Yeah.
Like what I guess a year and a half now.
Nah, dude, it's been like 2 years already.
Oh
It's
shit!
been longer.
2 years. What are you gonna buy for anniversary? No, it's just like this year you actually have. You finally released that song that you showed me a year ago.
I know, seriously.
And it's something that it didn't work at the band, but it came out on a better time now. Like you're actually doing shit that other people are not doing.
Yeah.
Like I think, like I always give you props for this. Like, dude, you're actually doing music. Like, yeah, I've never been good at music. Like I've been fan of it. It's a hobby. But you're actually
that's
doing
the
like
other
something.
thing. You have
like,
to
you're actually
like you
creative.
have to recognize what you're good at, what you're not good at. Like, I think that was like the thing that like I think that really makes this work. Like we both know how this whole thing works. We both know what where each of us is good at, and that's the other thing I think a lot of people don't recognize and don't seem to like realize from the get go.
I'm good at drawing teeth.
Like there's there's nothing wrong with saying and admitting like, look, I'm not good at this stuff.
Yeah, and
like me personally, I'm not good at the drawing stuff. That's why Alex does all of our like graphic design, because that's what he's good at, and that's why like he does most of the editing because he's good at that. But
by accident.
Like when we try and like how we say we write scripts and stuff, that's the things that I handle. I kind of handle like
he is like a Joker
I'll
alpha.
take-
Like he's
yeah.
actually the small because he has a business.
I'll take care of
Yeah.
like more of like our business things, more of our like
I do too,
handling
but, like,
what
different
like
kind of business.
what it is that we're doing in terms of like doing the show and like who we want to talk to, what we ask. Like I don't know, like but that's the thing. Like we both recognize what we are good at and what we aren't good at, and that's how we play off each other because we know we can help each other in that way. And that's the thing I think a lot of people don't recognize a lot of times as well. That was the reason. We don't talk about our old band too much. But that was the reason that band failed.
Which I think it's but we do it also out of respect because like we had a lot of people, and I'm happy to I'm still friends with everybody that's been a part of it. But yes, like one guy, the first person that we got into the band started with my cousin and whatever. But like I'm honestly like I would talk shit about Chris, which is the first guitarist I would have, because he wouldn't understand what we were doing at the time. And yeah, that's the only person that I can say is like, okay, that's the only person like I'll talk shit how he reacted to us skipping Eric.
Yeah.
And Eric is a good friend of mine now, and like we have hang out. He was here fucking 3 days ago, hanging out, like talking about just stuff, personal stuff and all that. And we're friends. Like this, like the band didn't work out, shit happened, but it didn't end our friendship. No matter what, like I said, like we never really talked about the band outside the band. And I think that's what made us.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to get too much on like talk shit about anybody. Honestly, I'm not. But I think that's the thing that I realized the reason that didn't work, because a lot of times people their egos get too involved, and you don't really recognize. Look, this is what's gonna make this work. This is what I'm good at. This is what I'm not good at. A lot of times you have to be able to take a step back and know, like, all right, this person is good at this. I'm gonna let them handle this. And I think that's the reason that band didn't work, because like you were mentioning, like, again, I'm not trying to talk shit about anybody. I'm not trying to build myself up or anybody else up or bring anybody else down. But I always felt very strongly when it came to that band. The person who had the ear for really knowing what was working and wasn't working, and really who can play what and who couldn't play what, was myself. And the thing I feel like that's
Sorry, we're going deep on this one.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care. It's long. I don't care.
This is going to be in a 2-parter episode, just so everybody knows, because this is really long. But I feel like since we're already talking about it, we're just going to keep talking about it and get it out.
We'll probably, before you go, we're going to stop this one. It's not the end of the actual episode. It's just like I'll stop in recording because camera, and it's fucking hot in El Paso, so you already know.
Yeah, no, so this will be everyone is still watching. This is probably the second part already about this one. We'll split this one up.
We'll split it up. I don't know if we're going to split it up in one back-to-back. Maybe in the audio, once we deal with the whole business part of that.
Yeah.
It will be together. Not like they will be back to back in the audio part. Video wise, it might be separate. We might do a location. I don't know. It all depends how the scheduling goes. So yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine. Anyways, yeah. So back to this whole point of this whole conversation. I feel like you have to really recognize what you're good at and what you're not good at. One of the reasons I always felt like our band didn't really fail was because unfortunately, we had somebody in the band that, yes, was probably like was a major part of the band, but this person unfortunately couldn't really recognize what their strengths were and what their strengths weren't. I still talk about Alex is gone. In this band, we each had our own strengths and we each had what we could and couldn't do. Myself, I honestly felt that I was the person who could recognize what songs were working and what, when we were playing songs, what wasn't working, I could recognize and teach it. Okay, like Alex, maybe do this.
I'm really thankful about that.
Yeah, Justin, do this or whatever. I feel like I had that ear who knew what was working, what doesn't work, and what we could do and couldn't do, and how to expand. When I got into the band, obviously it was a pop punk band straight up, but I always felt like there was so much more that we could be doing that could help us get a better recognition beyond just being a pop punk cover band and actually get into other things. Unfortunately, that wasn't the direction that it was taking because there was certain people, a certain individual who had a different state of mind and just refused to try things out. Which again, like I said, isn't bad. Sometimes it's not what you want, fine. But that was the reason I feel like that band didn't work, because there wasn't acceptance in knowing like, okay, this is my role in it and this is what I have to do to make it work. And it's not to say that it's not open for interpretation. It's not open to say like, you can do this, you can try this, or give suggestions, because I felt like that's what that band was at times, was a very much equal share in all of us giving like our thoughts and what we wanted to do. But that's what I'm saying, like I feel like that ended up being the reason that didn't work, because a certain individual just couldn't accept the fact that that's the way things were turning out. However, like, this works because of that, because we both know what we can and can't do, and what
we actually sit down, like, it's just a weird thing, like a lot of, even if we're like sitting down like a friend's house, we still talk, we talk about this, how we want to evolve it, and it's something, like I told you before, like when people ask me, it's like, is that your podcast? Like, I'm part of it. It's like, it's not mine. Like, we both started it. Like we say, with this drawing, and this is, like we say, with this studio. Yeah. We're trying to build a community where like people wants to come in and like, I don't have a platform to show my idea of a podcast about cooking or whatever. Like, yeah, like come in, dude. Like, we'll help you out. What we know, you can help us out. What we don't know, and as we grow, it's like it's a growing, I guess, company. I don't want to say company, like idea. It's a growing
project. Really, what it is right now, it's a project. That's what I'm saying. Like, really, the whole point of this, my TED Talk. Really, the whole point of my TED Talk right now is just what I was saying earlier. I hope anybody that hears this or watches this podcast, really just recognizes the fact that it's never too late to really do what you want to do in life. I know we all get responsibilities and things like that, and it becomes. I think we've been here too long.
No, it hasn't.
It becomes challenging, yes, but I don't ever give up on what you really want to do, and don't ever give up on what your dreams are. If you have kids, make your kids a part of that dream. There's a lot of ways that you can make things work, and there's a lot of things that you could do. This is obviously one of our dreams, to kind of keep doing this kind of thing. And your dream doesn't have to be creative. It could be a business. It could be going to school. It could be getting your degree. It could be anything that you want your dream to be. It's just, my whole thing is that what I think I've really been thinking about during COVID, and what's made me realize it, like Alex said, and camping also, is really not to give up on yourself. Like Alex said, for myself personally, for like the past year and a half, 2 years, there's a lot of songs that I've had in mind that I wanted to release that I've never released, and I've been trying to put out. And really, like now, like I think I just kind of like accepted, like, you know what? And the reason I think I always kind of realize it, I have in my head, and I think it might be the reason a lot of people don't end up really doing what they want to do. Everyone wants to like just come out spitting fire. Everyone wants to come out with like the big one, like
this is the thing.
0 to 100 real quick.
This is the one thing that I say about anything, and because it has to do with that, like even with what I do, it's like if you don't eat shit, you don't know what shit's actually at.
True.
It's like you have to eat that shit. Yeah, you have to kiss so many ass. You have to suck so many dick. It sounds wrong in so many ways, but I'm just saying, like, if you don't know what real trash is, then you're not giving yourself an opportunity.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that was. Deep word spoken. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's the reason I also never released too much stuff. And really, the only reason like I started this, I was like, you know what? Like at this point, screw it. Whether it's good or not, I like it. We'll find out if other people like it, and then obviously it's a learning curve. It's a learning process. You're gonna learn from it and keep producing. The more you do, the more you learn, the better your work is gonna be. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people gotta realize also. And hopefully, you know, hopefully by listening to this, you'll maybe take into consideration like what you really want to do in life and make something happen of it. Again, that doesn't mean you have to give up everything else. You shouldn't have to. It's a matter of managing your time, managing your balancing everything, and it's hard. Yes, it's very difficult, but anything can be done. Don't ever say that you can't do anything. There's always a possibility for everything. But yeah,
you're saying stuff that happened today to me. Cause sorry I interrupted you, but it's just like the same thing. I was telling my barber today, cause keeping it clean, alcoholic dad has to keep it clean. For the ladies, not really ladies. No one fucking wants to be around me. But I'm saying like, in my personal things, like I cannot go a day without drawing. Like it's even if I'm just doodling, that's me just doing something. Yeah, like there's one thing that I keep growing. It's just like I learned drawing my body parts, just like hands, different hand movements and all that. And it's just like, yeah, can I go a day without drawing is because even if I'm drawing the same hand every fucking day in the same position, I'm doing the fucking Chucker or the fucking Spider-Man, whatever, or the Rock On. It's like every drawing's different. I'm trying to keep it the same size. It's different technique, probably. It's different, like shading is different light, and it's the same thing. Like it's helping me grow. It's like, yeah, don't give up on what you're doing. Like, yeah, you have pauses, you have stops. Don't use like as much. I'm saying this is my educator part because I used to teach. It's like, don't use your kids as a fucking excuse. It's like, don't break it down. Like, yeah, like you have kids, you have time. You can always make time. Well, the point where might not be the best example because I don't fucking sleep at all. I sleep 2 hours a day. But when I'm awake, I'm doing something. Like I wanna do something. Like even on my free time at work, yeah, I do listen to a lot of podcasts, and I can name it all. And a lot of them are from the Santo Gato Studios, which it's one of the reasons I guess like we actually started this. Yeah. Because of the Basement Jar, the Stank, Other People's Lives, no shit, Cow Shop, Rooster Teeth, and it's stuff that it's just give us time to like learn stuff. Like I watch these videos, and I watch them as a fan, but also watch them to learn. And yes, I'm lucky that I know people from Rooster Teeth that I have actually met in person and kind of friends in a way, which sucks because of COVID. We couldn't do RTX, which is gonna be a surprise for Caesar, but I'm gonna throw it out here. I had actually gotten 2 tickets for us.
For what?
RTX.
Oh, really?
So, because I wanted you to like just see the behind the scenes. Yeah. Just because like even though I want to say this, I'm gonna throw out a name. Miles Luna. I'm really thankful for when I was in college. Those who don't know, my college experience is not a real college experience. Like I didn't go every day to college. My contract allowed me to go at least twice a month for the lesson and the turning in the project as a graphic designer. But one of the times, so the whole point is like to do a quick backstory about it. When I was in college, I had to go to college twice a month in UT Austin, which is the University of Texas. Go Longhorns! Shout out to the Longhorns out there.
Hook 'em horns.
And so I had to go twice a month. The first week of the month was usually the lesson. As a graphic designer, you get provided a client, and then at the end of the month, you had to produce the project, the product, which is the design at the time. And I was doing that. Like I would drive the first week from El Paso to after I finished teaching, because I was already teaching at the time to the program that I was working with, and drive out after my class. I already think my car drove to Austin, get there a day before the class. I actually had lucky that a friend of mine that I went to my basics in college moved to Austin I will stay on his couch, whatever. Like I will go take the class, come back, we're working forward. One of those times, he never answered the phone, so I didn't have a place to sleep. Like I went to class, I went late. I went the day of the class. I got there on time to go to the class, and I took the class, and then I had to get out. I went to eat, and I kept calling these guys. Like he wouldn't answer his phone, for whatever reason. Like probably hooking up with a girl, probably because pretty face like Caesar. So yeah, like he wouldn't answer. It was like, cool, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to 6th Street. Everybody go to Austin knows 6th Street. It's I don't know how to call it. It's Cincinnati.
I mean, I'm
Main
pretty sure
Street.
everybody in El Paso knows what 6th Street is also.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like in general, like I don't know who fucking listens to this.
It's literally
Like, luckily,
it's literally like
hopefully someone from England is listening to this.
it's Cincinnati times like 100.
So yeah, it's like the main street where all the bars are. And I
Yeah.
was just like, I'm gonna go have a drink. I just needed a drink, and I didn't really know the area other than school, because just that's all I went for. Like honestly, like that's all I got to do in Austin. And I was just hanging out there, sitting in the bar. I can tell you have an Imperial Austin IPA from an independent brewery from Austin, of course. And this guy comes into me and is like, hey, like, why are you by yourself? I was like, dude, like, I just came here for class. Like, kind of like told me what I just said in a shorter way. And I didn't look at him like I wasn't like really paying attention. I was just like hoping my friend like will answer my messages or my calls. And like nothing. And then his girlfriend came to order a drink, which it's Ellie from Rooster Teeth, and she's British, so she had an accent. I was like, I recognize that voice straight up. It's like and I was like, oh fuck, it's Ellie, and it was like, oh fuck, it's Miles Luna, which is one of the director producer for animation in Rooster Teeth. And I was like, oh shit, and it's like, in my head I said that, and I didn't want to, like, I was kind of acting nervous. It was like, Miles for sure noticed.
That was your celebrity moment?
Yeah, I was like, I had like a fucking high school girl moment. Like, oh my god!
Yeah, dude,
And I was
I've
just
had
like,
those.
And when you met, what?
Alex Gaskarth from all time. Well, when all time
Low. Yeah.
I kind of stalked them in El Paso a little bit.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
at they were at a fucking, what's the hotel called? Indigo. Hotel Indigo, and I just kind of found out they were there, and I showed up there, and when I got up to the floor with the hotel on it, I was like, what do I do now?
Yeah, mine was.
What do I do now?
Mine was just like me being an alcoholic, like I'm always. And like he was like, dude, like, hey, you wanna hang out with us? I was like I'm here with work friends. Like at the moment he said like I'm here with work friends, I know who I was gonna meet. Like at least I know like one of my people that I've been following for years in Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, the Rooster Teeth website, and Machinima. Back in Machinima days, fuck, I feel old now by saying that. Yeah, like I was like, dude, like really? It's like, I was like, oh, dude, like you seem like a cool dude. It's like, cool. Like, fuck yeah.
Cool.
Which also like my dad's came from him.
You're like, oh my god, okay, yes, cool.
I was like, which I got to the table and I got to meet Barbara. One of
Streisand? Just kidding.
One of the voices from Ruby, which is one of the anime that I watch, is US anime that
Yeah.
they created. And then like after I met her, I met Trevor, her now boyfriend, and I got to meet Gavin Free, one of the actual creator of Lomo guys. And I was just like, oh fuck, everybody from Rooster Teeth is here. And I met as much as people. I met Blaine, I met Gus, I met Bernie, the one of the, like I met the three founders that I knew. It was at the time, which was Bernie, Gus, and Jeff. I was like, I'm hanging, and he was just like, that's like that was it. Like I was just gonna spend the night and then the next day come back, and it was funny because I ended up going and I ended up staying. Like my friend finally answered. It's like I stayed on his couch like I always do, and I woke up early. It's like he's like, "Are you getting back to Boiz?" I was like, "No, dude, I'm going to Studio 5, which is the Rooster Teeth Studios, which is an old airport." And I got to experience the whole Rooster Teeth Achievement Hunter Studios. I met all the fucking people that I follow. I'm lucky to say that I became friends like with Miles because he's the one that like offered me a drink and hang out with them. And every time there's a El Paso Comic Con, he messaged me a day before, or 2 days before. He's like, I'm gonna show up the day earlier so we can fucking hang out, dude.
Dude, that's dope.
Which I took them. It was 2 years ago when they came with the Girls of Rooster Teeth. I didn't get to see the panel on El Paso Comic Con. It's actually the year I started working there for the company that organizes all that thing. I'm gonna say the names. It's easier to have a day job.
You just kind of gave it away. We were saying El Paso Comic Con.
Yeah, but they're not gonna like. They're like, if they're gonna think about the comic book store that organizes it.
True. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But yeah, it was like cool. It was like by the Comic Castellis, one of the voices for Ruby on that season, and I got to hang out with Barbara, Lindsay, and all of them. And we went to Detrish Brewery, which we know the owners. We know it's good people there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was like they were like, dude, like hanging out with you like a day earlier. Like no one knows who we are, and you're just like taking us to this place, and like no one's stopping us because they didn't know we came a day earlier. And it was all thanks to Miles, and I was just lucky to do that. And it's kind of like them are a big inspiration for me, like for us to do this, because like we said, we want to bring people in. It's not just you and me. It's not us throwing our own money. Yeah, I have like alcoholic moments where like I bought these 2 gaming chairs. I bought a fucking the whole reason like someone asked me if I'm ever gonna do a gaming section, which because one time I got drunk and I bought an arcade.
The Pac-Man. Is it the Pac-Man one? Yeah.
Also, I wasn't even part of this before we had the idea of this. I just got really drunk, and people say don't drink and drive. Don't drink in Amazon, motherfuckers, or eBay account access, because I bought an arcade and I forgot about it, and like a week and a half later, just an arcade showed up fully assembled in my house. Did I regret it? No. Do I have a record on it? Yes. Is someone gonna beat it? You motherfucking come here and beat it. Want to see someone beat my record?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, like it's
I'm not good at Pac-Man.
Pac-Man's a shit. But in all, it started just. My whole point is just like, it started like I'm thankful that I met those people by accident, like the same way I met Charles Trippy from We the Kings. It was the first. I can tell you the actual place. It was 2005 in Philadelphia. The first YouTube convention, which wasn't really a YouTube convention. It was 2006, and it was just like creators that were like big in a big following, and I just went. I had to like get so much money, personally, like because I was already working. I was like fucking I was 14 actually at the time, and it was a time where like I met him. He wasn't even part of We the Kings at the time. We kind of became friends. He gave me his phone number, and he just shout out to Charles. And I know he's actually been watching our shit, because he messaged me.
Shout out to Charles, because that's dope.
He actually messaged me. It's like, you should probably like change this editing, and I changed a lot of editing.
Really?
For him. Yeah.
Well, shout out to Charles. Alex is telling me about you, and I gotta say,
I will show.
Yeah.
Give us a call.
Give us a call, man. Let's do something. But hey, and actually, the last time I saw We the Kings was when they played the
2012.
No, not that Warped Tour. They played Minor Palooza.
Oh yeah, but it wasn't Charles here because he.
Oh really?
He was getting that. It was when he got his second brain tumor surgery.
Oh shit. Well,
but it was Danny, and Danny actually got to hang out with Danny, which is the drummer.
Yeah.
And also, you know what, Danny, give us up to you, dude.
If you guys ever come into town, let me know. I'd like to play a jam with y'all.
Oh,
I'd be there. Like, oh my god.
Text Charles like, hey, like my homeboy, he wants to suck everybody's dick. Shout out to the fake John Stamos.
Oh, dude, no, that was a fun show. I remember there was a good amount of kids there.
Yeah, like my friend, I forget his name. I'm gonna lie. He was like, dude, like, didn't you know We the Kings? Like, yeah. I was like, well, they were here. He's like, I know, but Charles wasn't here, so I didn't hang out.
It was a cool show, man. They did win Palooza. I want to say it was 2000.
Secret Sats.
I think it was 2017. I want to say 2017.
Yeah, because Secret Sat song came out of that.
Yeah.
Well, Sat song, not Secret Sat.
But anyways, I guess we'll end it here. But really, guys, the main point from all this, I know Alex got into it. I got into it.
So we got deep.
We got a little deep on this part.
Chill.
This second part of this episode, I guess we'll split it up. But anyways, really, thank you to everybody who's watching. And honestly, if you guys have something that you want to do, and you want a chance to
Hit us
promote it
up.
or
We do
anything,
answer.
seriously, hit us up. Let us know. We're always open to talk about anything that involves you or anybody that has a dream and anything that you want to do. There is no wrong thing. Well, I won't say that because there probably is something that we'll probably hear, and I'm
especially
like,
nowadays. A lot of things,
never mind, we can't do that. But anyways, seriously,
we will talk about it if it works. We want you to know that it's, like we said so many times, it's a 2-people operation.
yeah,
Probably 3 or 4 that we just talk to like as friends. Like, should we really do this? Which is the people we drink with and friends of ours, like they're close friends of us. Yeah, like you'll probably have a shot. Well, you'll definitely have a shot, but it's just like to an extent to like
we're as crazy as we seem, we do have our limits. There is some things where we're saying, yeah, no, there's no way we can do
I
that.
have a shock color in the side. I was gonna wear it the whole time to just shock me, but also at the same time it was gonna get me a little horny.
Anyways, yes, if you have something that you want to talk about, if you're from the El Paso area, if you're anywhere close, please hit us up. Let us know. Whether it be a local business, you got a band, you got you have an art studio, you're putting out some art, you want to promote your stuff, please let us know.
OnlyFans, Snapchat Premium.
OnlyFans, Snapchat Premium. Doesn't matter what it is.
Stripping, I don't know what the fuck.
Anything you want to talk about, let us know. And again,
like we said,
please don't give up on yourself. Don't give up. Don't make excuses for yourself. Keep trying. Keep doing what you want to do.
And
learn from everybody around you. Learn from other people. There's plenty of people, and I know a lot of people always say the rich and famous thing. Believe me, there's plenty of people in Hollywood that do not make it into the late 30s. Look at all the guys that you see right now are probably big. They didn't make it into the late 30s, later 40s.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Never too late to get to what you want to do in life. Never give up. But again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you to Old Sheepdog for hooking us up all the time, looking out for us. Please check them out.
Keeping me drinking.
Keeping Alex drinking, keeping Alex's alcoholic dad
Status
up on top. And
new merch coming soon. Not really.
And yeah,
the revenue for that. Yeah.
Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment on this for more content, future content to come. Like we said, we're not just doing podcasts. We're trying to do a lot of different things: music, art. Hopefully, some future scripted content coming your way.
And like I said, don't be afraid. We do answer our DMs, I guess.
Yes.
For 6 Feet Under, Alex
Anything-
1948.
anything from
I don't know.
Caesar _ 6 feet under.
Okay, I don't
Anything
forget that.
anything
Yeah, no,
revolving
that's
this
everyone.
channel, we will respond and we'll try and work with you guys if there's anything that you want to do or you have suggestions
Don't
or
send
comments
us dick
about.
pics. We're probably gonna get a lot of
Please
those.
don't send that. We will post them on public accounts.
Oh
so
yeah, they're gonna go all
They're gonna
over
go
my
all over
Twitter,
the place.
his Twitter. I don't have his Twitter, but probably mine. Just because, like, hey, this is a business
I
account.
will make sure the police. Remember, that's a law now. You send unsolicited dick pics, you can go to jail and you can get arrested.
I never actually like. I'm not even like. We kind of we're ending this. Is like I never sent a dick pic in my life.
Here it is, the conversation. The point of this story was, yes, if you do send that, believe me, there will be consequences. Anyways, yes, please, thank you, thank you for watching.
Leave a like.
Yes.
Hopefully, but this time we have a fucking what's it called? Spotify, iTunes podcast. Caesar, work on that shit.
It is coming. I'm sorry, it's been very busy.
Yeah, we've been busy. Like we
But
said,
yes,
this
it is coming.
Our part-time job.
Hopefully.
Joy,
Well,
not a job. Joy.
More different stuff will be coming. Follow us, and thank you guys for everything.
And wipe your ass. Cause I don't want to see any
Let
dirty
me in.
shit.
I'm trying to.
We're trying to.
All right, guys.
Yeah, we said it. We're trying to fuck out here.
Bye.
Bye.